Open your oh-so-fun glow-in-the-dark Deluxe spaceport and remove the pieces from the box. Poles will have a letter marking on one end to indicate what they are. Refer to page 3 of the instruction booklet for a listing of included parts. For step 1, lay out 9 A poles, 2 B poles, 2 of the number 1 connectors, 9 of the number 2 connectors, and the door sleeve. Attach a number 1 connector to an A pole. If you discover you have connected the wrong pieces, simply squeeze the end of the ring on the connector to disconnect the pole. Slide the door sleeve over the pole and connect the other number 1 connector to the opposite side of the pole. Next, add a B pole to the other side of the number 1 connector, then add a number 2 connector to the end of the B pole, again at 180 degrees. Add an A pole to the other side of the number 2 connector. Continue adding number 2 connectors and A poles until you have a long trail of pieces connected. When all A poles have been used, add your second B pole. Bend the line to connect both ends and form a large circle. Now move on to step 2. You'll need 2 D poles, 18 C poles, 2 number 5 connectors, and 8 number 4 connectors. Connect a D pole to the number 1 connector along the base. Then add a number 5 connector to the top of the D pole and make sure the arrow is pointing up. Add a C pole to the number 5 connector you just placed and then connect the other side of that C pole to the number 2 connector along the base. This will form a triangle. Next, add a C pole to the other side of the number 2 connector on the base. Then add a number 4 connector to the top of the C pole. Add another C pole to a number 2 connector along the base. Connect it to the other side of the 4 connector. Continue this process of creating triangles all the way around the circle until you reach the other side of the door. You will end with the number 5 connector on your last C pole, along with the D pole next to the other side of the door. For step 3, you will need 9 E poles. Attach the first E pole to the right of the door by inserting one end into the number 5 connector already on the fort. Then connect the other side of the pole to the number 4 connector already on the fort. It is important that you connect the poles completely as you work and adjust as needed as you build the fort. Failure to have tight connections will result in difficulty adding the fort cover at the end. Continue connecting E poles all the way around between the number 4 connectors already on the fort. You will end at the other side of the door and connect to the number 5 connector. Step 4 requires 10 C poles, 10 F poles, 5 number 3 connectors, and 5 number 4 connectors. Start this step by attaching a C pole to the number 5 connector on the existing base to the right of the door. Attach a number 3 connector to the top of the C pole. Then attach a second C pole to the same connector to form the top of a triangle. Connect the bottom of the second C pole to the number 4 connector already on the base. Then attach an F pole to the number 4 connector on the base and add another number 4 connector to the top of the pole. Attach a second F pole to the number 4 connector you just added, along with the one already on the base to form a triangle. Continue alternating C poles with number 3 connectors and F poles with number 4 connectors until you get to the other side of the door. Connect your last 2 F poles and number 4 connector to the top of the door. Step 5 requires 10 D poles, 5 of the number 4 connectors, and 1 number 3 connector. Add 2 D poles to opposite sides of a number 4 connector. Repeat until you have used up all of your number 4 connectors. Connect the bottoms of the D poles to the existing number 3 connectors, all the way around the fort. Add the number 3 connector to the top of the D pole next to the door. Bend the remaining D poles to connect to that number 3 connector. For step 6, you will use 10 A poles. Connect an A pole to the number 4 connector, then connect the other side to the number 3 connector on the fort. This will be fairly parallel to the ground. You will connect A poles to number 4 and 3 connectors all the way around. For step 7, you will need 10 G poles. Connect the first G pole to the number 4 connector above the door. Then connect the other end to the number 4 connector up towards the top. Continue connecting G-poles to number 4 connectors around the fort to create a zigzag pattern. You will need 5 C-poles to complete step 8. Connect all C-poles to the remaining number 4 connectors along the top of the fort. Once all poles are in place, lay out the fort cover. Be sure to open the door before adding to the frame. Drape the cover over the frame, using the door opening in the front to line it up correctly. From inside the fort, fasten the Velcro sleeves around the base and sides to secure the cover to the frame. To add batteries to the blacklight flashlight, unscrew the end of the light and remove the battery compartment. Add 3 AA batteries, then replace battery compartment and screw the end of the flashlight back on. Now you're ready to explore constellations inside the fort with the blacklight flashlight.